Okay, I think I'm live now. Hold on, let me look. I think I didn't press the go live button. You guys, obviously some technical difficulties. I think I didn't press the go live button. Okay. Can you hear yourself, sweet? Now I hear myself. Hello. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. I'm also looking at my laptop so I can see the comments in real time because they populate so late when I'm looking at other people go live. But I'm Lenice. I've lost my voice, but I'm half a love at first sight, and Kelvin is the other half. Why don't you put it as your name, babe? Can you change your display name? Just so we know your name. There we go. Okay. All right. Cool. I don't know. I don't really know how this works. Congrats. I did it. Thank you, guys. Oh, what's up? Passionately Intrigued, Coach Mary. I'm trying to get Kelvin up here. Congrats. Oh, what's up? I'm trying to get Kelvin up here.
Can you hear me?
I'm trying to get Kelvin up here.
We should be fine now. Can you hear me?
Do you hear that?
We should be fine now. Yeah, we should be.
Okay.
Can you see?
Are you on one device? Make sure you're on one device because there's like a reverb somewhere.
Why can't I hear you?
You guys, we're learning. You have
Your
to
volume went away.
Mute your second window. So
can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Settings. So audio.
Guys.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm reading the chat right.
It's all right. I cannot hear you, but I'll let you talk.
Hear me in the chat. Can you guys put like some type of emoji, like a heart emoji? Thank you for being patient. Thank you. We all hear you. Okay. Can you guys hear Kelvin? Lotus Vibes, Micro Pharma, Big Rooster Show, Passionately Intrigued, Ruthie's, Bougie, Cynthia, The Educated Natural. I'm just reading like my laptop because the comments right here is just, whoo, it's a lot. Chain Doe. Hello, you guys. Welcome in, welcome in. Audio together. We can hear both. Kelvin, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm working it out on my end, so let me see. I want to try
Kelvin,
closing it and then coming back. You think that would help?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to be right back, all right?
Okay. Can anyone figure out that? I know. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this when we're actually going live? I mean, we tried to set it up beforehand, like an hour before, but yeah. So I see the chat. So sorry, guys. We're not used to this platform. We usually go live on Instagram every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30. So this is all really new. You guys could both hear us, but he couldn't hear me for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, I'm not sure. I think it's because you're logged into the Gmail, babe. That's why. You need to log into your own YouTube and then come to this live and then, right? I believe so.
I can hear you just fine.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
There we go.
God. Praise
Good
God.
Technical support. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry?
Can you see the comments?
I see the comments.
Okay.
We did it. Yeah, that was stressful, wasn't it?
Ah!
I don't know. I don't know.
But welcome in, guys. Hello, my name is Lanice,
I'm Kelvin.
and we are Love at First
At
Sight.
first sight.
So, Kelvin and I are a long distance couple, obviously, and we met online on Facebook dating about 9 months ago. And we hit it off so well that we decided to create a platform just talking about online long distance dating. And yeah, it's been pretty successful so far. We created it in October. So right when we hit that 6-month mark, right when I'm like, you're not going nowhere, he ain't going nowhere. So yeah, we made a YouTube. We're not saying we're not as active, but as far as editing and uploading videos, I mean, both of us work full-time jobs. It's kind of difficult to do that. I do the bulk of the editing and stuff like that. So yeah, we just found that live.
If you can hear me, press some ones in the chat.
Huh?
Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay. We both disappeared for a moment. So
I don't know. I see us right here on the computer. But yeah, as I was saying, we just find that it's easier to just like film and things like that when we are together. And so that's why our YouTube like just channels or videos are just kind of like sporadic. So we just appreciate you guys being so patient. And yeah, we can open the floor to any questions. But other than that, we're going to kind of just talk about our platform and just some products that we got coming out. And yeah, so you guys ask. I see the chat right now.
okay, I'm not sure if Lanice shared this because, like I expressed, both of our videos and the audio cut out for about 30 seconds. But shortly after me and Lanice started dating, we both realized we have a shared passion for creating content, discussing mental health and love and relationships. So that's kind of how we both came together and said, well, since each other and our friends enjoy these discussions so much, we decided to share it with the world. So that's how we came up with our platform. And we do have some products coming out shortly. So, but any questions, please feel free to ask us. You can at us individually. If you just the questions at Lanice, at Kelvin, we will do our best to answer. And thank you for everyone who's taken your time to come onto our live this morning. Thank you a lot. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we can get into like how we met if they haven't seen that video yet.
Okay.
Yeah, since I haven't seen any questions so far in the chat. So if you guys have questions, we'll pin it, but we'll just like start with our story. So basically, last January 2021, I had just got out of a 6-year relationship. Wait, do y'all share turn on meeting together? I don't know what that means, micro farmer.
Yes, could you elaborate, micro farmer? What does that mean?
But yeah, we met January 2021. I just got out of a 6-year relationship, so I started dating. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, I was in the dating streets, but I was also living my single, season. And I got into a lot of different hobbies. I was like dancing, I was skating, going hiking more, just like trying to explore Atlanta because I had recently moved here 6 months prior. So the end of 2021. And yeah, it was like April, like the beginning of April 2022. And I don't know, I just kind of had my wits in with dating. I was being stood up on dates. Like I was just tired of the dating scene in general. And I don't know if some of you follow my Instagram, but there was a video that I had posted. It was a private video, just me talking to myself and God. And I was just kind of like, man, you know what? Screw this. God, just please help me become a better person. Like, please help me become a person that's ready to receive love. Help me become a better sister to my siblings. I had been in college for 8 years, so I never really went home because I was so focused on getting my master's degree, becoming a dietitian. So I never was really home. Help me become a better friend. I had just put all my friends to the wayside for school and my relationship, so I had to kind of really tap in to that part of myself. And not even 10 days later, I saw this beautiful gentleman. He popped up, or this one, I don't know, I think he's this way, on Facebook dating. And I just shot my shot. I was like, I like your style. I texted him in the DM and said, I like your style. And he commented on one of my skating photos. And it just kind of went from there. We exchanged numbers. And if you want to pick up where I left off, Kelvin.
Yeah, we exchanged numbers, and we didn't talk for that weekend. Of course, I had a kind of an eventful weekend, but that Monday, I believe it was the 17th of April. We just been talking ever since, and we both realized immediate connection, uh, same sense of humor, and it was just what we were both seeking at this time. Prior, Lenice expressing, praying for a new relationship and an overall new trajectory. I had a conversation with God myself, and I was just saying, like I'm a great guy. I got how great I am, a career, well established, things like that. And my barber at the time is a really great gentleman here in Charlotte because I'm located in Charlotte. He's I was late 50s, and life gets better when you find a good woman. He's like, I understand that you have all these things going for you. You get the car, the job, place, a basic. But when you find that healthy relationship, that pushes you to another level. And trust me. So I had that in mind ever since then. I was like, all right, so how can I find that woman that I'm seeking? So conversations with God, going to church, praying on it. And then, yeah, I would say not even less than a month later, I matched with Lenice on Facebook. Uh, and we off, and here we are.
Yeah, and I know some women will they'll come for my head with this one, but 3 days into the conversation, I mean, we're FaceTiming so much, and we're gonna answer this question after I state this, but we have been conversing so much. I was just like, you know what? I want to get out of Atlanta. I want to get out of Atlanta. I was like, I got an Airbnb and I drove to Charlotte, and so that way I kind of put myself in like, you know, um, a safe position. I would say, if it worked out with him, it was great. He was there, but I had an Airbnb, and shoot, I make my own money. You know what I mean? Like, let me enjoy this new city I never been to. So we met like at a disclosed location, like a restaurant. He invited me to, and we went on a date, and we just hit it off, and like we were almost inseparable from that moment. I mean, it was just so, man, like just something I never felt before. I never felt courted. That was the first time a man gave me flowers. You know, I'm 29 years old and never received flowers. And he bought me Crocs on the first date too. So that told me he was listening. You know, I work in healthcare. And as we would FaceTime, he would ask me little stuff like, what's your favorite color and what size are your shoes? But I didn't think anything of it. And on the first date, like he brought me those things. So I knew from jump, like at least this was a man, maybe not the one, but I knew this was a man worth pursuing. And I want to answer this question. Kelvin, can you read the question?
Yeah, I can read them all. I don't see the question. It's moving kind of.
Or maybe I can only see them pinned. This Unbiased LLC. Hey, Weightlifting Geek, what's up? See you in the chat. Hello. Well, this question is from Unbiased LLC.
Oh, I see. How often do y'all meet in person, and do y'all have a schedule? Oh, okay. I'll answer that. I would say every 2 weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks has been the max we've went without seeing one another. Not really a schedule. We're both pretty transparent about how we just want to rest that weekend and stay home, and we don't feel like traveling. We know how difficult it is to maintain home when you're on the road. After if I go all the way there, I don't feel like taking my home when I get back, and vice versa. So
yeah,
some weekends we'll just share. I need to stay home this weekend. Like even this weekend here, like mentally traveling a lot. Just want to stay home and rest. And we're both very understanding adults. We both work hard. So I would say, yeah, every 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks max. But it's not actually a set schedule.
Yeah. We just make sure not a lot of time goes by, right? And we know when time has gone by because we started bickering. We started bickering on FaceTime. We're short on the phone, short in our text messages. And
we? One of us will really just yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say bickering, but I think they become a little more short with the other person.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all love. I know her pretty well. Did you two do background checks on each other? I mean, no.
Okay, I will say that my little sister did for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, found out that Kelvin like has been an actor. I would go ahead and tell your business. Yeah, Kelvin was in, what episode of House of Cards, and like he had been acting, and I brought it up, and he was like, "Yeah, how you know that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, my little sister looked you up." So kind of done a background check. I mean, obviously, the natural response is you kind of look up your Instagrams, and that's kind of what gave us a little bit more information about each other. I saw that he was into plants, I saw that he liked to go out. He did concert plants in the background right there. And he just seemed like a really likable guy. So yeah, I did a background check. I mean, I guess what is your modern day background check in terms of including social media? What about you? You said no, you didn't? Big ups for little sister. Yeah, triple threat. Yeah.
No, I didn't do any background check. I kind of it was social media, and then I hope for the best at that point. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but I was just very optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess any other questions? I mean, we could just say questions that we get, like, how are we able to navigate a long distance relationship? That's a question that we always get. And my response is that it's going to work just like any other relationships if you put the work in. I always make this joke like, hey, your grandma doesn't maybe live in the same area as you. I mean, how do you foster a relationship with her? Right? Like you talk to her, you call her. I mean, really meet technology where it is right now. You guys, we have FaceTime. Like, damn near we're in the same room with people. I mean, how you guys to like digest this content right now, right? You are looking at us. So in real time. And so we just use those to our advantage, we're 230 miles away from one another, right?
Just
So
about.
sometimes it's a factor. So we take the bus, we use public transportation. Sometimes we meet halfway point from both of us is Greenville, South Carolina. So we make it like a destination trip. I mean,
And
yeah.
if you haven't been to Greenville, I mean to talk about research.
Oh, you good, baby, you good.
I will add it is like a gem of South Carolina. So Greenville, a beautiful city. There's a waterfall that goes directly through the center of the city. Great place for adults, kids, first dates, any dates. Honestly, what would you say? A picnic, a lunch break. It really is a nice area. So I would check out downtown Greenville.
Man, like make it work. Sorry, I want to start this. Yeah, make it work. Any excuses that you come up with, those are just reasons why you don't want to be together. I just don't look at those as excuses. I mean, I don't look at those as obstacles. It's just like, okay, what do we have to do to navigate around this? And we both have a hustle mentality. Both of us, we come to find out that we were in the service industry. Both of us were, waiting tables for a big bulk of our life before we met each other. So it's always that like, let's get to this money mentality. What hands do we got to shake? What do we have to say to reach a common goal or end goal? And so segueing into that, Micro Farmer asked, if you don't mind me asking, what is the end game for you guys? Kelvin, if you want to answer that.
We discussed, we had all the big conversations early on. I think we both knew. Can you still see me and hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, baby.
Oh, my camera's cut off, so I can't. Okay, I'm back. But we discussed, traveling, children, home ownership, combining household. We had all these discussions very early, which is kind of decided to establish this platform because we knew this is what we wanted. So, I mean, the end game actually marriage, a family.
Yeah.
If that answers your question, Michael Farmer. Then Jay.
Oh, babe, can I answer some of the questions?
Plan to take the next step stemming from my answer to Michael Farmer. Yes, we plan on taking all of the next steps, and we plan on documenting it all the way through. So you guys can be a part of it. Bougie
Oh,
prepper. Yes, I'm in Greenville. That's amazing. Yes, so you know how so they can attest to how great the city is. Great meeting point. Um, what's your degree again?
babe,
So
I'm gonna pin the questions. We gotta pace it out a little bit. You kind of shooting through. Can you still
okay. Say what?
can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I said we're just shooting through the questions. Let's pace it out a little bit. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I kind of wanted to speak to like in game a little bit. Yeah, in game, like that is something like we did talk about, just kind of piggybacking on what Kelvin said, but the immediate kind of next steps, like we do plan on moving in together, seeing if that will be an end game, you know, and I know that is a gamble, right? Like, how do you know if you're gonna get married? You guys don't even live together. So for those of you that might be wondering that part, yeah, the countdown has begun. We do plan on moving in with each other. Um, what, like in 60 days, right? Right? It's like
So, so,
over 60 days. And we just announced that too, like on our Instagram and our other platforms. So we're not telling each other, we're not telling our the public who's moving where or where we're moving to. Uh, you just have to find out. Stay tuned and find out. So I do want to answer this pin question. JD Forever, what is your degree in? I think I heard med school. So I am a registered dietitian. So basically, I am the nutrition expert for a couple healthcare facilities, mainly being long-term care and acute care. So I do enteral feeding, so people with tube feeds. I diagnose malnutrition, and just put supplementations and interventions in place to allow people to get their calorie and protein needs. So been a dietitian for about 2 years now. It is a very fulfilling career, but I found that it was more so like not saying a hobby, but I guess you could say that just for lack of a better term right now. It's more like a hobby, and it's work, you know. And I didn't really want to like be in the forefront of that on a platform. I don't want to talk about that so much. I don't mind embedding it into our platform one day, but yeah, moving forward, yeah, I just kind of like the balance right now. I would work at work, and I get to be my live, goofy self with my man on here. So, yeah. And someone asked too. I want to pin that. What do you do for work, Kelvin? And I'll get that, but you can go ahead and answer that. What do you do for work? We can't hear you now, babe. Well, at least I can't. No.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I don't know why it keeps cutting out. I am currently a diesel technician. So I've been in mechanic in total 7 years. So 2 years automotive, 5 years diesel. Before it was ever theater arts, which I like Lenise expressed, I did delve into acting in my earlier 20s. My first love was cars. So um, I didn't explore that until about the age of 25. I went to technical school in Orlando. And then that's kind of how I hopped headfirst directly into the diesel industry once I graduated. So now I'm one of the lead technicians. I do everything from on your standard tractor trailers, 18 wheelers, uh, Cummins engines in particular, international engines, if you're familiar with internationals, but I've been doing pretty much everything. And I'm like the everything technician. I've pretty well rounded at this point. But yeah, it's going on 7 years in total. So almost 10 years. And I love it. That was my first love before I ever explored acting. So I was the teenager at 15 with their parents' hood up, trying to figure out how to fix the car and change the spark plugs. It just took me a few years to find the confidence to actually enroll in the technical school and realize this is something I wanted to pursue. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. Awesome career. King Kelvin, you always be employed. Yes, always be employed, always good with my hands, and it's a hobby that I can take anywhere, find a job anywhere. Um, yeah, love it.
And we're sorry for like backtracking too. I think I saw someone ask where we're from. I'm originally from Pensacola, Florida. Through a series of events, my dad was in the military, so I lived in Seattle, Washington. Um, they were divorced when I was very young, so we moved back to Florida. My mom got remarried, and I grew up mostly in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't claim it because I never felt like I belonged, but went to Birmingham. Or lived in Birmingham, Alabama, and went to college at Auburn University in Alabama. So I was in college from 2012 to 2020. So like recently just got out of college, 29 years old now. And yeah, just really getting into my career, finally not being broke anymore. So Kelvin, if you want to kind of say where you're from and just give a little blurb.
Yes, I am from the DMV. So family is from PG County and DC area. I moved to, I would say, closer to Baltimore between the last years of my childhood, but I am from I'm from Maryland. So big on repping DC, big on repping Prince George. A lot of family back home. Yeah, I always say DC.
Chicago, right?
Say what?
Lived in Chicago for some time too, right? And Florida.
Yeah, I lived in Chicago. When I finished school in Orlando, I moved. I had a job offer in Chicago, so I was in Chicago for about 3 years. I stayed. Actually, my first place was off Central and 47th, to the Baskin Robbins where the Obamas met, which I thought that was terrific. Like it's a little piece of history. But then from there, I left and I moved to Charlotte, so be closer to family, to a lot closer to D here than I am in Chicago. So now I'm currently in Charlotte.
Okay, you guys.
I'm in Maryland.
House.
That's right. Yeah, from I can't even tell you from Waldorf to Temple Hills to Hyattsville. Yes, I got family all over the DMV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So active in the chat, and thank you for just.
Thank you for
that. Just say that, blurb. Thank you for being so patient with us. Like I said, navigating YouTube is really different. You know, maybe I had to join a couple memberships, you know, but right now my main focus is kind of getting our Instagrams up and our other platforms. We just reached 1,000 on TikTok after 3 weeks.
Right.
Yes, we got 1,000.
Not even a month, and we hit 1,000 on TikTok. So it's,
yes. So our main focus, maybe we could talk about content creating really quick. Our main focus right now is just building up other platforms to then funnel into YouTube, because my mindset is if I don't even really know you, I'm not going to watch long form content of you, you know, like let me watch little pieces of you, like give little, you know, teasers. And then it makes me want to go to another platform like YouTube that has long form content and watch you, as opposed to trying to build up a YouTube. And then now we're trying to build up other platforms to then funnel to YouTube. So I don't know, at least for our age range and who we're trying to reach, that 25, even in the upwards 50s, people who are still kind of dating. That's kind of who our audience is right now. So yeah, Kelvin's pretty new to content creating too. So do you want to speak to that? Like kind of our method, you know?
Our method for creating content?
Yeah, or just like, you know, do you think it's worked so far as like been beneficial to increase our other platforms first and then funnel into YouTube?
Oh, okay. Sorry if I have making you repeat yourself there. You know, it's breaking up on this side. I don't know. It's all been beneficial. I just think as far as what platform we posted on first, Lanice has been really big on just saying, I had to get in the mindset that even though I've seen the video or the reel multiple times, it might be new to me. It is not new to everyone. I'm getting into the mindset that being okay.
You cut out a little bit, babe. Are you still there? Ooh. Sorry, guys. A little bit more technical difficulties. At least on my end, I can't hear or see Kelvin right now. He's kind of stuck. Let me see if I can like remove him from stream and then bring him back up. Let's see. It says it's loading. Sorry, guys. I'll wait till he like gets back up here. But I want to answer a few questions. But yeah, as we were talking about content, yeah, just you are your content. Like, so, I mean, this even can apply to YouTube. All those old videos that you might have. Oh, he's back. Yay.
Okay. What's the last thing you heard me say?
Just any content that you have in your camera roll or, you know.
Yes. Just the mindset that it's new to me. I've seen it 1,000 times. No one else has. So just don't be afraid to post it. Someone's going to engage with it. I second guess a lot of that post it, and it's received hundreds of thousands of shares, and I'm just like, I never thought that it was that special. But however, that's the beauty of content. Someone else might find what you said or what you did, and connect with it and share it with others. But as far as where we posting our content, we discussed that together. What platform will be best for this, and it's all very new to me. Like when I stopped taking theater arts classes and acting, I kind of disconnected from the recording and the reels and demos and what the post was. So it's a part of it still feels familiar. Like, okay, I did this when I was 22, so it's exactly not exactly a stranger to it. It just feels like I'm picking up an old skill, and
Yeah.
I'm sharpening my tool. If you get the analogy, but I'll let Denise continue.
No, that was beautiful, babe. Thank you for sharing that. We want to continue with the comments. Someone asked which college do you rep, Duke or UNC?
Oh man, nothing. University of Maryland. What do you want? So my sister graduated from. So that's always Maryland.
You knew asked, is there a negative side of long distance relationships?
I'll let you go.
I mean, the obvious, right? The obvious, and why people say that it is not for them is, physically being there with your person. However, based on the pivotal points that we are in our life, like I just told you guys, I literally just got into my career. I haven't even been a dietitian for 2 years.
Yeah.
I kind of need that time to focus on myself. This is my first apartment. Like I just completed a 1-year lease of being by myself for the first time in my life. And so long distance kind of helps me in the sense of, yes, I get to focus on myself and my career and my place in this world and what I feel like God has, destined my purpose to be. And I can also, make that time to communicate and get to know another person. There's a lot of talking on the phone, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, and I'm not biased, right? I think a lot of people that are in a physical relationship that see each other every day, say you match on Tinder or whatever, so you might be closer. I think sometimes we get caught up in the physical, and you're starting to see things that aren't there, just because you're spending time with one another means that person is investing in you. So a little biased, team long distance, I think, depending on where you are in your life, and you're not quite ready to, settle into a relationship, and what is required, I think it works. What about you, babe? Like, what's the negative side? Basically, the distance and being apart.
I mean, aside from the obvious distance where like we want to spend time with one another, but we're not physically in the same place. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, babe.
Okay. I haven't found too many negatives. This has worked for me. I can focus on my fitness, my nutrition, my meal prepping. I'm establishing a new career chain and I'm learning software development so I can kind of segue and have a better work-life balance to explore other hobbies. I dedicate all my time to that. No, I haven't really found too many negatives. It's really been ideal for me. I don't think I would be as fun if Denise was in close proximity because I probably just would have been hanging out more, spending time more together. There's nothing wrong with it. I just wouldn't be taking that time to pour back into myself. So it's worked for me. Physical, can I answer that, sweetie?
Oh, I'm just kind of like going back to the comments and like highlighting.
Okay. I tend to jump around.
No. If you, I'm just catching up. But you keep talking. But if you see a comment that you kind of want to comment on, then yeah.
Yeah. So like me with the gym, diesel technician, labor intensive. I'm so fatigued some days. The shop, especially when I get big jobs, your engines, transmissions, you name it. I don't have I would say the mental or physical bandwidth to really do anything when I leave the shop. But I still want to exercise. I still want to run my 2 miles. I still want to whatever. So outside of that, when I leave the gym, I'm so fatigued. I can just come home and rest. I don't have to check in with Lenise or do anything else. And so it has allowed me to be a bit selfish. But I think it's great.
Yeah, I love that word. I know it has a negative connotation, selfish, but it's a lot of people lose that. You should be selfish because what happens is you burn out, right? You're investing so much in another person, and like, what are they doing? Like, are they fine, or what can I do? And then you almost beat yourself up at the end of the day. Well, I've been doing everything for you, and you needed me, and it's like, did that person need you, or did you overextend yourself like you've done in previous relationships for other people? So I think this has allowed us to have a pace. I think one of the first things Kelvin told me, he was like, your pace is my pace. And that literally stuck with me, you guys. Like, people are quoting this man to this day because we've said that on our live on Instagram, you know.
I shared that. It just said, I don't ever want you to be in a situation you feel comfortable. There's nothing to rush here. Like,
Yeah.
your piece is my piece. If you don't feel as if you're comfortable with something, I am okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you are, I'm okay with that. That's all. Just because if I know if you're comfortable in your own skin, then you're going to open up and be the person that you naturally are. So yeah, I said that on one of our first phone conversations, and yeah, it helps. But yeah, there isn't. I don't think codependency between us. We in the inner work, and we both are quite self-aware. Also, the benefit to long distance, um, we check in. You want to share, Lanish, and talk about checking in?
Yeah, Kelvin kind of came up with that. And it's funny because on our last video, we do Q&As on Instagram. I don't know if we've said that. We do Q&As with other couples that met online. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, if you go to our Instagram, it's a link in our bio. Matter of fact, I wish I could post a link tree right now. But there is a Google form application on our link tree. And it basically is just, you know, a Google form app that fills out a little bit, you know, you fill it out. It's a little bit of information about you. And I call on a Saturday typically. So I'm going to go check the Google form after we get off here and just basically catch up with anyone that wants to be on our show. I like to pre-interview and pre-vet people before they come on our platform because we don't need nothing crazy, okay? We don't need to be bananaed or taken down, especially on Instagram, especially platforms we're trying to get monetized because this is a business. So I say that to say, Kevin actually brought up a good point, and that was, dang, I literally lost my train of thought. He said something on our platform along the lines of, I don't know, they hit a lot of good points, but I lost my train of thought. So, what was the question?
They were talking about, the question was about the checking in. I said I brought up checking in.
Yes. I brought that up to say that Kevin, remember when he was like, he used to think checking in was bad. You know, his parents would be like, all right, Kevin, how's school? And he said, usually they're bringing it up because something is wrong. And so they're asking how them grades. And then you're like, they're seeing if you're trying to lie because they already have an issue with you. And that's kind of how I felt too, like checking in, just like, like what's up? What's going on? I was just always kind of like on the fence. But Kelvin, you know, he brought up the idea of checking in just to make sure we're good, especially being long distance. We don't have that physical, you know, aspect to kind of pick up on body language, body cues. Yeah, he said every Monday, let's check in. And eventually we've kind of like fell off because we check in every minute around the clock. We're talking 3 or 4 times a day, you know, hey, I'm gonna post this, or hey, baby, how's work? It just switches from love and business, love and business. So we check in constantly, but that was something before we decided to come on a platform. That was something that was very important to Kelvin and I, just checking in every Monday. How are you feeling mentally, physically? Is there some way I could be showing up for you? And I think it's just very vital to any relationship.
And especially, I would say men. I often see a lot of times with it's women on social media with the negative connotations on men are this, men are that, or men lacking self-awareness or communication. And you know where I'm going with this. But fellas, you know, if you are listening, I would definitely implement that. If you like somebody, love them, you want to make sure you maintain this connection. Check in. Just be like, hey, is there anything I could be doing better? Put your ego aside. Just ask. And the criticism is something, it might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for your growth. You know, I was raised with a mother and a sister that was constantly on me. So it's like always, it's how I grasped it from there. And of course, I found it quite agitating in my youth, but now I'm an adult. I use that to apply to my friendships and my relationships. It's like, are we good? Is there anything I could be doing better? And because of that, I've had, I would say, for the mostly amicable breakups, healthy relationships, You know, of course, it's a bad breakup. Things happen, but fellas, I would try it. I would try it. Ask
Yeah.
her, ask her, ask them. You know, is there anything I could be doing better?
Yeah.
And then you need me to do for you. You know, just short things. And I would try it once a week till you get to a zone in your dating where you don't have to ask. Because me and Lenise don't ask anymore. I got to we got to the point where we know each other so well. It's like I know if something's wrong with her because she's going to tell me.
Yeah.
So I no longer need to ask. But try it.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say that, gosh, I lost my train
Thank
of
you on
comments, but no, thank you for stating that, babe. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of vulnerability in checking in too, because I could tell from a woman, I could speak from a woman's standpoint. When I was younger, I thought I was nagging if I, was stating a discrepancy I had with my partner, right? I would think of it as complaining, but it's not. Like, hey, babe, when you did this, it made me feel like this. And sometimes it's just a miscommunication. So I asked, was that your intention? Because that made me feel like this when you did that. And it's just a simple conversation, I think it kind of breaks it down to like, no one is out to get you, especially your partner. You guys are on the same team. So it's like you against the problem, not like you and the
yes.
problem,
Yeah, your
right?
partner never the it's you two versus the issue at hand, the disagreement or whatever you would like to call it. And you work together and communicate, come together and solve the issue.
And I want to kind of highlight on D Forever, saying that, yeah, you're on the fast track with finding love. People think we move too fast. I've gotten like, are you sure you guys want to make an online platform? We haven't even hit the year mark. But I mean, we know this is where we want to be, and our mindset is we love making funny, goofy videos. I don't know if you've kind of seen that as we're going live. It's a little bit more serious, but I'm goofy as hell. If you look at some of these YouTube videos, it's us play fighting. That's our pastime. We will fight each other and wrestle to the death. So we love YouTube in the sense that we can have those kind of moments. And, if you relate to it, you relate, you comment, you laugh. If you don't, you don't. And so, there's been a little bit of pushback in terms of like, are y'all making a platform? Like, y'all ain't living together yet. You don't know. You're not certain. And I think, man, like, there's no reward without risk. Like, just jump into love. Like, go based off your feelings and how you feel. And I think if more people did that and they were very communicative in the forefront, there would be like less wasted time. If you're vibing with someone, if you want to see them the next day. You guys ever been on a date and that's the first and last date that you're going to be on? If you have that feeling when it comes to meeting another person, exit stage left. Don't waste time just because you're getting free food or some furs or benefits from that person. Because in the long term, you're going to waste your time. And we have one chance, the last time I checked, to make this right and make this count. So we're just very intentional.
And someone you knew asks, if you mind pinning that, it says, do you ever think you would be okay with long distance? You knew if you're new here, we are long distance, and we've been long distance since.
I think maybe it might be an old comment because you have to scroll down. Are you scrolling down?
At the very bottom. Triple Dutch says, Calvin looks like my son a lot.
Oh, does your son look like Marlon Wayans too? I'm just playing. Let me stop. Oh, thank you, Microfarming. Yeah, I know we got 9 minutes left. I kind of want to use, and thank you, beautiful young couple. Thank you, guys. Did you ever think you would be okay? Oh, okay, I see it. Sorry, baby. I was like all the way up top. I don't want to miss anyone. Yeah, I actually was. Can I speak to that first, and then you can kind of go? And I want to show one of our digital products that we have coming out.
Sure.
Yeah, before I met Kelvin, I actually was in a long distance relationship. It was with my college sweetheart. We were together for 6 years. They graduated before I did, and so they moved to Florida. Not to go too much into that. We've talked about this, and that's another thing, sidebar. We talk about our past relationships. I know some people think that's like a hush hush, but eventually you will, because a lot of healing that you think is complete is not complete, and sometimes the other person will trigger a response that happen in your previous relationship. So we have a very fluid, healthy relationship in the sense of we could talk about our past and not feel insecure about it, or why are you bringing up your ex? Like, it's vital. These things happen to me. If you want to know me, then you need to know my past, And so I say that to say, I did a long distance relationship for 4 years. And I mean, the communication was there, just the loyalty and honesty was not. And so that's kind of why that ended. But yeah, I was totally okay with doing long distance. Like, just like I was saying earlier, I was in a very pivotal point in my life, and I still am trying to transition into my career. So it's very like automatic for me. I call you at least once or 2-3 times a day. Cool. I don't have to worry about you coming over, cooking dinner for you. Hell, I barely know I'm cooking for myself that night. So it kind of gives me that ease a little bit. So what about you, Kelvin? And I'm gonna pull up our digital product. Just want to talk about that.
Well, yeah, actually, sort of similar to what Lenice was saying. I dated somebody briefly, long distance, 20. Yeah, they were, I think, much farther than Atlanta. So yeah, I didn't want to be in a long distance relationship. I was just looking for the connection. So she just so happened to be, a little south of me. So I didn't want to, but I was, if that's what it took, then I made the sacrifice.
Oh, thank you. And I'm just catching up with the comments. Everybody's saying I met my wife and dated 1 year. Like, yeah, I mean, when you know, you don't have to waste all this time. You really don't. I think most of the time you're wasting is that you don't trust yourself to make a good decision, and you should. This is this is your person. You would hope, right? So I don't know. I just go into it head first.
Thank you for sharing as well. Can't stop walking.
Thank you, guys. And you love this message. Thank you. Moderator. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm sorry. I really don't. If somebody wants to email us, loveatfirstsightofficial@gmail.com, and volunteer, I will FaceTime you today and we could talk about it. How to make moderators and things like that. Because I think maybe I'm doing it now. Let me know if I did it now, Coach Mary. Thank you for volunteering. So yeah, and if we didn't say our ages, I'm 29 years old.
I'm 32.
Yes. So first older man I've dated. I love it over here. Okay. No, my little boys. But yeah, we do have 5 more minutes, and we just appreciate, just the patience that you guys have. I mean, that's part of why I love the YouTube family so much. You cannot do this by yourself. You really can't. It's a team. It's a team effort. Each one teach one. Maybe there's someone more experienced in the chat. And if they're, open enough to share, which I've seen they are, they will share it and they will give criticism. You just have to be open and accepting to it. And I know I get a lot of comments on my content. Yeah, if you guys ever want a powwow or brainstorm where we could talk about content and things you could do better with your own content. I'm not an expert. I just maybe can speak from a mind of, someone that's just not too far removed from college, which is where the bulk of that is coming from. Bulk of people that are viewing content, what they want to see, how they want to see frames change, little sounds and blurbage. And, I'm a little bit into the culture, not saying it's better than you all, but I know there's a lot of people that are, more established and married and not really in the scene in my YouTube family. So if you guys ever want to powwow about that, I appreciate it. But into this digital product, we'll talk for the next 4 minutes. Kelvin and I have came up with a idea. Basically, what we were seeing in the dating scene is that people aren't vetting out people properly. They're not. They are not asking the right questions. They are finding out things after 2 or 3 months. Oh, I didn't know he had 3 baby mamas. And I feel like if we're asking questions properly, we can not only save time, but just save heartbreak, and have these false expectations. But yeah, I say that to say we kind of brainstormed together and came up with a dating card game called Let's Make It Awkward.
Let's make it awkward.
Let's make it awkward. Yes. Because that's what we're getting, right? People are saying that dating is awkward. Well, I don't want to ask those awkward questions. I don't want to seem like I'm quizzing them. Yes, quiz them. This is damn near an interview. A date is like an interview. Why are you trying to be so? I don't get it. You know, I don't.
But like, stop trying to think about being nice or invasive. This is the person you're investing your time with. Your very short-lived life. You need to ask the proper questions. See if this person is worth entertaining. And if not, get them out of your space. So we created this to help singles navigate the dating scene.
Yeah.
So we done the thinking for you. You will not be engaging with someone wondering or leaving your date. I'm sorry, am I talking over you, sweetie?
No, you're good, baby. You're good.
I'm just, we're passionate about this. So you will not leave the date.
Like next week. So we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, so you will no longer leave the date wondering, oh, I don't know if I asked that question, or I still don't know this about them. We created the template for you. So we did the thinking for you. And it took a lot of thinking between us both to come up.
Yeah, and we got 2 minutes left. So yeah, how can you get the game? I would say follow us on Instagram. That's where we're most active. That is where we're active every single day. Follow us on TikTok as well, love@first-sight_. And we'll be launching it very soon. We are actually working on the Shopify website today. But basically the game, you sit across from one another and you just swipe. It's literally like a flip book. You swipe and there's going to be questions facing you, right? This question says, is this your first date this week? Which, yes, it's an awkward question, but I kind of need to know. What if he says, nah, shawty, you the third one tonight? Like, that's something you kind of want to know, right? And then Kelvin will swipe and it'll be facing his way. This one says, outside of my appearance, what is something that you like about me? All right. Like, I think that's a valid question because a lot of times we meet people in person or on the apps and, you know, we digest things with our eyes, right? So we kind of want to know, is this person actually like invested in you, or just how you got big booty, big boobs, you know, or like you tall, dark, and handsome? Like, outside of my appearance, what do you like about me? And if you're able to vet these questions out properly, you can kind of gauge the conversation, see them real time, answer them, and just be like, yep, check, please. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. We've done the research for you. And yeah, that concludes our live. It's 11 a.m. So we don't want to jump on the next person's toes. I mean, you guys go view. I screenshot it, but I'm not sure who's next. I want to pass the mic. If you guys could put in the comments who's next. I don't have it on my iPad. I have it on my phone. I screenshot it. But yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I don't want to take up the next person's time. But yeah, thank you guys for the words of wisdom. Blue Lotus, Kick It With
Thank you.
Triple Threat. Thank you guys, Micro Farmer, Big Rooster.
I love this, and I am so excited for the next one. So I appreciate you all so much for taking the morning to engage with us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Shout out to everybody, especially those from the DMV. I love seeing people from home. Appreciate you. Much love.
Yeah.
Micro Farmer, my new brother. Thank you. Triple Threat. Appreciate you.
It's bougie.
Yes, but please feel free to follow our social media handle. I love at First Sight official, the Instagram. Please.
_.
Understand. Don't forget the underscore at the end. Love at First Sight official _.
No official. Love at First Sight _. That's
Love at First Sight _ engage with us. Keep up with us. Find out what's going on. New events, new products, new posts. You know, a lot more content coming. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Well, that concludes it. Yeah, we want you guys to go see Coach Mary. You know, we don't want to hog it up. We could stay live because we know we a vibe, okay? But also, if you're still here, we also have a Discord group. Discord. Look at one of the last videos that we posted. So we can connect a little bit on a deeper level. You know, we had game night last night. That was lit. We have a whole Discord group. We have a singles chat, couples chat, you know, long distance relationship chat, and we have a men's only chat. I don't have access to that. Kelvin and a whole bunch of other guys, they talk in there, and it's free to join. We do have subscription only little features in there, but it's free to join. So if you guys want to talk to us on a deeper level, like today, join our Discord group. That is how you can get in touch with us on around the clock.
Yes, so we just,
you guys.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just saying we receive so many messages not only from our personal Instagrams and social media handles, but to love at first sight. So that's why we it. So we can talk to everybody at one time, and you can also meet the other community of great people that follow what we do. So yes, please follow our Discord.
All right. Well, blessings to all you guys. Catch us on the gram, on Discord, like we said, and be on the lookout for this Let's Make An Awkward card game. So thank you for tuning in to Love at First Sight. See you guys later.
See y'all.
Bye.